Yom HaShoah began in 1951 to honor more than 6 million Jewish lives lost in the Holocaust. To put this number into perspective, if we took a minute of silence for every life taken by the Holocaust, our voices would be stilled for 11 years. To acknowledge, to remember, and to pay tribute to these lives lost, and to highlight acts of heroism shown throughout the years of Nazi oppression. Yom HaShoah became an international day of remembrance where each name, place of death, and date of death are read around the world. By saying these names, we memorialize those who perished and help keep their memories alive. By saying these names, we ensure that this tragedy never happens again. Wigdor Schwartz, Bukaj, Poland, 1943. Regina Stadfeld, Gorlice, Poland, 1942. Fejza Stein, Belzec, Poland, 1942. Sidoni Stein, Yugoslavia, 1940. Rose Steinberg, Auschwitz, 1943. Shea Steinloff, Belzec, Poland, 1942. Hava Sterenberg, Transnistria, Moldova, 1941.
Representative Smith-Warner.
Alter Portnoy, Yanushpal, Ukraine, 1942. Yakov Portnoy, USSR, 1944. Fanny Porges, Auschwitz, 1944. Ben Zion Fabrikant, Vetka Gomel, Belarusia, 1942. Bat Seva Furwasser, Lunaniak, Polisai, Poland, 1941. Yehosua Fischer, Auschwitz, 1944. Helena Veit, Theresienstadt, Czechoslovakia, 1942.
Representative Bowles.
Jakob Christel, Helmno, 1941. Burl Radomski, Kaunas, Lithuania, 1943. Alexander Ravitz, Warszawa, Poland, 1943. Gitela Ravkin, Rovny, Poland, 1941. Moshe Rosenblum, Majdanek, 1943. Yosef Reuser, Ukraine, 1942. Brana Royer, Clements Podolsk, Ukraine, 1942.
Representative Bonham.
Simeon Berodsky, Drabitsky Yar, Ukraine, 1941. Beila Berezovsky, Drabitskia Ya, Ukraine, 1941. Kia Robinovich, Drabitsky Yar, Ukraine, 1941. Hugo Mayor, No, France, 1942. Boris Kiotoresky, Kharkov, Ukraine, 1943. Chil Ackerman, Wolino, Kielce, Poland, 1941. Gedali Ackerman, Belzec, 1941.
Representative Doherty.
Yezriel Pirouda, Auschwitz, 1942. Aaron Faust, Sendisau, Poland, 1942. Rachel Fang, Belzec, 1942. Hermina Teufel, Auschwitz, 1944. Adolf Farkas, Germany, 1944. Yiddish Farkas, Auschwitz, 1944. Lily Farkas, Auschwitz, 1944.
Representative Gomberg.
Rachel Jezerowitz from Poland, 1942. Fanny Eichenhauser in the Bergen-Belsen camp, 1945. Wolf Eichenstein from Russia, 1942. Raquel Ezra, the Auschwitz camp, 1943. Irmgard Olsner, the Auschwitz camp, 1943. Makala Engelman, Auschwitz camp, 1944. Naftal Engel from Poland, 1943.
Representative Gorsuch.
Ignac Anton, Auschwitz, 1944. Mendel Ehrenkrantz, Dola, Poland, 1942. Yitzhak Erster, Auschwitz, 1943. Moshe Balsam, Bergen-Belsen, 1945. Georgi Bodenheimer, Auschwitz, 1944. Alimelech Bohem Legaren, Auschwitz, 1944. Gita Bosis, Olenov, Ukraine, 1942.
Representative Greenlick.
Asta Polyaskaya, Babi Yar, 1941. Levin Bornstein, Auschwitz, 1942. Regina Wozniak, Treblinka, 1943. Yitzhak Burnham, Auschwitz, 1943. Michel Greenberg, Belzar, 1942. Yuri Burger, Russia, 1944. Samuel Berlin, Auschwitz, 1943.
Representative Helt.
Usur Folkenflag, Celsisa, Romania, 1941. Rockmeal, Folkenflick, Treblinka, 1943. Grisha, Fudaman, Vinkovci, Ukraine, 1942. Yoina, Fudaman, Vinkovci, Ukraine, 1941. Shmal, Fudaman, Duyates, Ukraine, 1943. Hirsch, Futriki, Shonim, Ghetto, 1942. Hahn, Fuchs, Sonarki, Poland, 1942.
Representative McEwen.
Braviția, Bessarabia, Romania, 1941. Tony Grinvald, Braviția, Bessarabia, Romania, 1941. Velvel Hassan, Yumamovka, Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine, 1942. Clara Adler, Riga, Latvia, 1941. Rakhil Kazan, Yubamovka, Dnipropetrovsk, Ukraine, 1942. Mina Friedberger, Riga, Latvia, 1941. Hermann Einstein, Stuttgart, Württemberg, Germany, 1940.
Representative Fahey.
Avram Guzovsky, Kremunchub, Ukraine, 1941. Jacob Newberg, Lvov, Poland, 1941. Shaya Guzovsky, Armavir, Russia, 1941. Itzhak Namen, Treblinka, 1942. Perla Namen, Treblinka, 1942. Masha Radomsh-Ishel, Zhytomyr, Ukraine, 1941. Erno Grossman, Stalino, Ukraine, 1943.
Representative Meek.
Ben Zion Kahan, Kauno, Lithuania, 1941. Mazatov Cohen, Auschwitz, 1943. Mati Lickman, Sobibor, 1942. Joseph Lilienbaum, Majdanek, 1943. Miriam Lieber, Treblinka, 1942. George Levy, Elric, Saxony, Germany, 1945. Lubov Levin, Palkino, Russia, 1941.
Representative Neron.
Irina Boritz, Lvov, Poland, 1941. Andrei Leb, Ukraine, 1944. Helena Gall, Auschwitz, 1944. Helena Lustagova, Majdanek, 1942. Lubu Vlovov, Babi Yar, 1943. Mietek Alembik, Auschwitz, 1943. Sala Alembik, Auschwitz, 1943. Severin Alembik, Auschwitz, 1943.
Representative Noble.
Benzion Federman, Auschwitz, 1944. Bathsheba Frucht, Treblinka, 1942. Kiva Kaputsin, Rishitsa, Gomel, Belarusia, 1941. Miksa Kis, Budapest, Hungary, 1944. Libby Kleinman, Belzec, 1942. Flora Knobelman, Odessa, Ukraine, 1941. Elka Grupieni, unknown, 1943.
Representative Peluso.
Chaya Musman, Ostrog, Poland. Avraham Neuboyer, Auschwitz. Sarah Dupenkan, Lupin, Poland. Beren So Isain, Dupen and Ka. Reis Atiz, Sistavowski, Brest, Polency, Poland, 1941. Venci Opa, Yazen Ovek, Hrvatsky, Yugoslaven E, 1941. Bat Shuba, Polak, Auschwitz, 1944.
Representative Pruzak.
Fiega from Berdichev, Ukraine. Dina from Berdichev, Ukraine. Lieb from Proskurov, Ukraine. Frimetta Blinbaum from Auschwitz. Raquel Braun from Auschwitz. Samuel Brand from Belzec. Katie Bradbart from Sobibor.
Representative Salinas.
Jacob Shmulachik, Lowicz, Poland, 1941. Jacob Goldman, Arkhangelsk, Russia, 1942. Eleonora Amarachi, Auschwitz, 1943. Suzanne Amarachi, Auschwitz, 1943. Solomon Amarachi, Auschwitz, 1943. Prosper Aros, Auschwitz, 1942. Ferenc Ungar, Auschwitz, 1945.
Representative Solomon.
Elizabeth Haasta, Auschwitz, 1943. Aaron Vazdias, Thririnstad, Czechoslovakia, 1945. Venetian Weinkrantz, Treblinka, 1943. Mario Veroli Dai, Warsaw, Poland, 1944. Itka Verkhovsky, Rudnya, Smolets, Russia, 1941. Mania Khavin, Osipovici, Belarusia, 1941. Nissim Israel, Auschwitz, 1944.
Representative Wallen.
Eli Gank, Auschwitz, 1944. Aaron Gorodensky, Minsk, Belarusia, 1943. Batskava Geles, Transnistria, 1942. Abraham Gromtaman, Sobibor, 1943. Kalmana Grunberg, Kolotsvar, Romania, 1944. Usher Grunberg, Auschwitz, 1942. Balsha Dayak, Ulanov, Vinitsa, Ukraine, 1942.
Representative Wilde.
Lieb Fuchs, Otfok, Poland, 1940. Ephraim Furman, Transnistria, 1941. Rivka Finger, Poland, 1939. Onshel Komyun, Auschwitz, 1943. Shlomo Kirchen, Zoborov, Poland, 1943. Jenny Rappaport, Balzac, 1942.
Representative Williams.
Burl Rittman, Vilno, Poland, 1942. Tara Reknitzer, Auschwitz, 1944. Ilonka Romer, Auschwitz, 1944. Jonas Remmert, Vinnytsia, Ukraine, 1942. Rudolf Schanzer, USSR, 1941. Samuel Salomon, Krakow, Poland, 1942. Ben Salomon, Tarnopol, Poland, 1943.
Representative Zika.
David Lukowitz, Lesno, Poland, 1941. Max Cohn, Rivesaltes, France, 1941. Dezo Loritz, Auschwitz, 1944. Benzian Mazur, Stalingrad, Russia, 1943. Ben Zion Mazur, Stalingrad, Russia, 1943. Benzian Malamud, Chetsnirsi Zenitsa, Ukraine, 1941. Jolin Markowitz, Auschwitz, 1944.